there are absolutely necessary times where things have to be said about people that is negative. But the question is it an appropriate time and are you the right person? So for example, and we'll get to Yeshua's example second, but for example, people will come to me to counsel. And during the counsel, they're counseling about somebody that they had a situation with. And they're trying to understand what to do. But they won't want to tell me who it is and give me more detail because they're afraid it's Lashon Hara. I said, no, it's not Lashon Hara. I need the information because I may know something about that person or the situation that you're missing, so that could help in the counsel. And so when you're coming to me, the problem with Lashon Hara is embarrassing someone, okay, or doing something to try to cause others to see that person in some negative way because you do. All right, so what you're referring to is when Yeshua says that you've heard of old not to murder, and I say, well, if you're going to want to kill the guy, even if you didn't do it, you're still guilty, okay? That's really what it's talking about. Now, being prepared for scenarios that may happen and having a willingness to defend yourself, which might mean somebody ends up dead, and it's preferably not you, because it's a life and death situation, right? Then that's different than plotting to kill someone because you hate them and they're irritating you and they're a pain in you or whatever, and just, you know what I'm saying? So that's where we get to murder. That's why the sixth commandment is about murder, not about killing, okay? It's the idea of killing someone because you've got some emotional, personal challenge with them, okay? Now, if somebody attacks you and you defend yourself and they end up dead and they were trying to kill you, you're not murdering. You're defending yourself. Being fair and just and all those other things I listed makes me believe that all children, even adults that somehow got cut off before they had a chance to do whatever, will get their chance. I don't know how this is really going to play out. And you know what? I really don't care because I trust him. Okay? I can't get too involved trying to jump into his place and try to figure out what's going to happen. Will I see this person? Will I see that person? Some of you have loved ones who never understood Torah at all, and you were close with them, and they died, and now what are you going to do? Abba has this under control. Stop worrying about it. Trust him. You have to have the trust like Abraham had to go bring Isaac and grab the knife and get ready to offer him. There will be, I promise you, no rebellion in the kingdom. Now, millennium is going to have a rebellion at the end of it. The millennium we have, Hasatan released, and there's a rebellion. But once we get past all that, there will be no rebellion. Why? Because all the rebellious-hearted people will be dead. They are not getting in. You have to understand this. The weeping and gnashing of teeth is the bunch of people lined up to basically get thrown in the fire who realize that they didn't get what they wanted, and they're mad that they didn't get what they wanted. They're not mad that they didn't choose better. They're mad that they didn't get to have it their way. Just like you are when you get pulled over for speeding. You're not mad because you were speeding. You're mad because you got busted. That somebody, how dare they not let you do what you want to do? Yes, these are all traditions. And I think it's a good tradition to do something that triggers for you that something is now changing. We're going from the week into Shabbat. There should be a switch in our minds, in our focus, in our hearts, right? From the things that are happening on the horizontal to the vertical. Now, we should have a vertical all during the week as well. But a complete shift to only focusing as much as we can just on the vertical. And so if you can have a routine or a tradition that you do that sets that time apart in your system so you know this means we're starting, and a way to finish it at the end, that's wonderful. These are traditions, though. Now, as far as the Erev Shabbat service, that doesn't work for holy days, because unless the holy day is on a Shabbat, it's a Shabbat-focused service. Everything about it is talking about Shabbat. If you understand Torah, which is to the left of Matthew, right, in the first 5 books, everything that is done there, decision-wise, requires 2 to 3 to establish something, as in terms of witnesses. So what it's saying is, when 2 or 3 are gathered in my authority, not just in my name, like claiming to be mine, but have authority to gather together and make a decision, I will be in the midst of that decision, because they're told in Deuteronomy 17 that they will make a right ruling based on Torah. He is Torah, so he'll be in the midst of all that, okay? And so let's understand that this is not referring to just 2, 3, because Christians will say this all the time. Well, hey, there's 2 or 3 of us here, so he's with us. No, that's not. He's with you anyway. You guys need to be a lot more concerned than you are, okay? Because you're not getting in with the unbelievable amount of baggage, garbage, and other stuff that it just doesn't belong in an eternal suit, okay? You should not want to spend forever unhealthy as you are. I'm talking about above the shoulders and in your heart. I'm not talking about your physical maladies. He's going to fix all those, because your suit won't have any issues. The body that he gives you will have no problems. However, he's sticking you, the thinking part of you, the emotional part of you, in that body. That's the part of you you better get a hold of. Oh, well, he'll just fix all that. No, he won't. Oh, how could you say that? Because if that were the case, he'd have done it already and not wasted all of our time and all of this. But think of it this way, because I don't think I've ever said this before, but Amy sort of triggered it when she mentioned that. If he came back on any other day, don't you think people would now start worshiping that day? And it would be, just like they claimed that because they claimed he was resurrected on Sunday, all of a sudden we switched to Sunday. Of course, he wasn't resurrected on Sunday. He was resurrected Saturday afternoon. But that being, the thing is that people believed that it was Sunday, so therefore they switched to Sunday, or at least used as a justification to move things around. So if he showed up on a Wednesday, Thursday, Tuesday, whatever, all of a sudden, the Shabbat will lose its emphasis to that. So I think that makes a pretty good argument that he would show up. After all, he is the Lord of the Sabbath. And so certainly he would show up on a day that is a Sabbath. And that way it doesn't add like something weird into the mix that now has a chance to undermine stuff that's already been established, right? So you have an opportunity laid in front of you. You're in a trial, and he's standing there watching like this going, all right, let's see what you do. He's looking down, and so you can get all upset and turn into like a fetal position, suck your thumb, and or you could stand up and go, I'm going to deal with this. I'm going to trust him. I'm going to do what he expects me to do, and I'm going to count it joy that I have an opportunity in this adversity to show him where my belief is. Because it says, knowing that the proving of your belief works endurance. So count it all joy when you come into trials, because this is a proving of your belief. You should get excited about those opportunities. Look, I've seen people, when a challenge is thrown up in front of them, but that challenge was if they could overcome it, they were going to get a prize or a reward or be recognized in some way. They get excited about it being as hard as it can be, because they want to say, show everybody, look at, I can do that. If you're good at something or have a talent, a good teacher is going to be tougher on you than the person who's just okay at something. But you're going to think that they don't like you. No, they like you a lot. But they want you to push harder, because what you do naturally and easily you may get complacent with and never get to the level you could get it to without somebody pushing you. All right? Why does Scripture say that if you do what's expected of you, you're a useless servant? Why would you be useless? You actually did what's expected. He's saying, because anybody can do what's expected. I want you to go above and beyond that. That's why, yes, he's watching you all the time, but he's not all that concerned about when you're doing everyday mundane things. I may see somebody needing help and I go and help them, but he expects me to do that.